and they can help keep the country safe. They can be guides to the tourists. They can tell them what they're looking for. They can be. So I think this is not something a police thing, because the whole idea of a lot of police also is an uneasiness and a reflection of crime. So I think there is something we can employ the young people to help preserve that industry, which we need, especially in these times where our agriculture and other products.
Yeah, we have to protect this industry with everything that we have. 821.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
You know, Matt, I have been talking about that for years. The situation in Roseau. Matt, I was in Roseau last week. I think Thursday to be exact. I went into Royal Bank, and as I came out of Royal Bank, just a few steps from the door, a guy stopped me. He wants $5. Anyway, I didn't give him $5. I tell him I haven't got $5. Anyway, I see he watch me, and you know, these guys are always scary because some of them carry weapons. So I moved on. When I reached by J. Nassif, another guy wants $5 again. A different guy comes up. They're not asking for a dollar now, you know. Now it's $5 they want. So I didn't give it to him. Anyway, I moved around, and Matt, I was stopped no less than, I think, 2 other occasions. Guys stopped me and asked me for money. This time they asked me for a dollar. About 4 times. Matt, I have been talking about why doesn't the government get these people off the roads. Matt, I have been going to St. Martin over the last 25 years, multiple times a year, and I have never, ever been stopped by anybody asking me for money. I am not the most traveled man. I am not a high roller. I mostly travel in the region. And Matt, what I see happening in Roseau, I have not seen that anywhere. I have not seen that anywhere. The only place I saw a few beggars, almost like here, was in Belize. But we still have a lot more. And this is a shame, Matt. And the government, with all the millions and millions of dollars that they have, they're going from door to door. They're going to start making house calls. You know, doctors don't even want to make house calls nowadays. Not I understood that they're going to start making house calls, distributing money. With all those money that we have, we cannot build a facility to get these people off the road. One of those days, you know, most people are feared for the tourists. But it doesn't have to be a tourist. It could be any one of us. It could be any citizen of this country, unless somebody get killed in cold blood in Roseau. They're not going to do something about it. And this is a crying shame, man. These guys travel all over the world. They see all kinds of things, but as though they turn a blind eye, and when they come back to Dominica, they say, this is Dominica. When we want to have fun, we'll go to big cities. Matt, this is a shame, and I hope the government finally does something. Get these guys off the roads, Matt. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, talk to me.
Matt Peltier, good morning to you and your listeners.
Uh-huh.
I too stand in condemnation against the attack on a tourist. This is a industry that we depend on. It is a fragile industry, and we as a people, as a country, as a nation have to sit down and think and reflect as to whether we want that industry to go forward or whether we want to sabotage that industry. The minister cannot do it alone. The government cannot do it alone. So we, when I say we, I talk of all of us. Because when one individual attack a tourist, the bad name is not for the individual. The bad name is for the people of the Commonwealth of Dominica. So every one of us, whether we are in the vendor, we are a vendor, whether we are a taxi driver, whether we are in the industry or we are not in the industry, we have a role to play to protect the industry, because that's what keeps people moving. That's what helps people to put food on their table. While other people may not be in it, Matt, we have to be concerned as to our brothers, our sisters, but most of all, are the name, the Commonwealth of Dominica. So I stand in condemnation of the attack on the tourists or any other citizen, whether it's Dominica or any other citizen. We must condemn it and condemn it strong. It's embarrassing, Matt.
It is very embarrassing. Hello.
Mr. Peltier,
How are you, sir?
I give him thanks. Blessed day to you, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I want to not even stand in condemnation, and I want to just say something, Matt. If any some little distorted and perverted mind out there would think, well, oh, white people do so much thing. You're not going to look at an individual and attack them, because that same individual might be against that global system of white supremacy who have done so much and is still doing a lot. So we should not try to justify our attack on visitors and talk about, oh, no, because guess what? We are so desperate. We are attacking and killing each other. So it would be a very poor excuse to try to justify attacking a visitor. Matt, the banana industry or the agricultural industry, generally speaking, has been destroyed through neglect, and I think it's systematically so, or deliberately so, by design. Could it be that somebody wants even the tourist industry to be destroyed as well? Because in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, Matt. Could it be that still too much people have little avenues to survive in the...
Well, I'm happy that you're asking the question, Blessings, but from my conversations, this morning I spoke to the Minister of Tourism, and he is very, very concerned. I may connect with him in a minute. So this thought of yours, yes, it can be a thought and belief as well. But why you would, I don't know, don't you find it kind of a far-fetched somebody want to destroy from the top the tourism industry? I don't know if I agree with you on that one.
Listen to me for a minute. You there with me, man?
I'm listening to you.
I am just saying, Matt, that is most of the time that's where we get caught. Things that are far-fetched. The ridiculous...
I'm not telling you not to think that way. I'm telling you that I don't agree with you on that one.
I'm glad for your interjection instead of just allowing me to talk. I'm glad what you're doing. It is healthy. You there with me, bro?
I'm here.
Okay, Matt, what I am saying, the resources are there. So what it is that is holding back the implementation of the deploying of the police on the streets, particularly on a Sunday when a ship is in port? Matt, it's not the first time you're discussing that. Is it that?
Oh, no, not. It's not the first time. But I mean, given what happened yesterday, you know, tourists walking, bleeding in the city because he was attacked. I mean, what's that?
Somebody told it to Angelo last night, and last week a guy kicked a tourist in a Chinese store and he toppled over Matt. Matt, these are not being reported. Matt, I'm telling you, the police are there. We are not under a state of emergency, or we are at war and we have our soldiers or personnel elsewhere. Matt, they're there. So why not protect the tourists? And we all know, in closing, my brother, we may want to play games. Who control the police force? Who control the way police are being deployed? Look at any little protestation or demonstration or even a public meeting by political parties, the opposition. Look at the amount of police in plain clothes and in military fatigue and in their uniforms you're seeing all over the place. How can the visitor not be protected? So could it be a deliberate attempt, Matt? Matt, that is what we don't like to do. Think profoundly. We love to be on the surface, superficial thought we give to things, and while it is passing over our head. And in closing, Matt, you hear how much Chinese doctors we're going to get?